Hey guys, it's Liv here, and in today's video, we're going to be using a team built around Garganacl. I really hate that Clutch sent me this mon, but I can't lie, it's long overdue that I've shown this thing off. I've been neglecting it for a while because it's still to this day, I'm getting comments regarding the fact that I thought, VizDef Pure Rock type would be a PU tier Pokemon. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people did, just don't want to say it. But you know what? I was wrong. So today we're using Garganacl. If you enjoy, of course, like and subscribe. And with that said, let's get into the builder. First up though, we do have the Garganacl. This is a Terra Grass set, which Terra Grass in this is really good for checking stuff like opposing ground type hits as well as water types that would otherwise threaten the pure rock typing. Definitely fairly valuable here, and we're a max F set to take advantage of the fact we'll be clicking Iron Defense into Body Press most likely. We also do have Salt Cure, which is Garganacl's signature move. This thing does 25% per turn to water types after the initial attack until they switch out. Even if Garganacl switches out, it will still continue. It has no turn limit, unlike something like Fire Spin, which is pretty valuable. And also, it will do 1/8 damage to 12.5% to anything that is not a water or steel type. Terrestrial does affect this though, so a water type could turn into Terra Grass and only take 1/8 per turn, or a grass type could turn into a water type and it'll start taking 1/4 per turn. So it definitely is a bit of a mind game there, but it does benefit us a lot. Finally, Recover is just for a lot of sustain, same reason we have Leftovers here. And with the Purifying Salt ability, this should help avoid any sort of status, so we don't even need to risk that. Purifying Salt will mean that we don't have Terra Grass for Spore, it's purely just defensively speaking here. Up next, we do have AMOONGUSS, speaking of Spore, with Spore, Rage Powder, Protect, and Clear Smog. This is just standard AMOONGUSS. I'll be honest, I don't know what it does, but Clutch just slapped it on. He literally said this is just like the standard set going around that everyone's running on every team. So I don't really know what it does beyond that, I'll be honest. I should probably calculate some time because I'll probably be seeing it in a lot more builds, but again, just he mentioned stealing someone else's build here. This is one of like 2 mons I couldn't really give a lot of information on. Outside of it, Terra Water is just great for taking hits from stuff like Torkoal, which is really valuable as it's one of the best slow mons in the field. Rage Powder is great for redirection. Clear Smog is great for stuff like Dondozo teams. And then Spore Protector's common moves in AMOONGUSS. Even though I don't like Protect, I'll admit that it's not a terrible move in AMOONGUSS. I think specifically though, there's a lot of other options that could also be run here, but it's fine in the set for what the team needed. Up next, we do have AZUMARILL with the Citrus Berry. This is a Belly Drum AZUMARILL, so we have the 244 HP, so we're splitting the HP at the halfway point when clicking Belly Drum. This means that Citrus will always activate, which is pretty valuable here. The 4 base speed, Clutch mentioned just to outpace other base 50s, as we don't necessarily need to go Trick Room on here. Despite the team being fairly slow, it's not a team that relies on clicking Trick Room every game, which is definitely a pretty big benefit here. We also do have Play Off and Aqua Jet, as these are our 2 primary stabs, with Aqua Jet of course being priority, and with Terra Water, it's a massive nuke. Meanwhile, Play Off is just great for opposing dragons. I won't say that I know what the 60 Fizz Def was for. Clutch actually forgot what the 60 Fizz Def as well as the 4 Insp Def actually did, but he said to just assume it's important. Up next, we do have HYDREIGON with the Assault Vest with Terra Fire. Terra Fire is a great way to become a Fairy type resist, and it's also, unlike Terra Steel, a way to resist Fire types, which is really important to note because the best current Fairy type in the format would be Sylveon, of course, which typically does go for Terra Fire for the Terra Steel matchups. Though there are certain matchups where it'll go for Terra Water for Terra Fire teams, just it's a lot less common from what I've seen. We have Snarl, which is great for dropping special attackers. We have Dark Pulse, Heat Wave, and Draco, which will be primary stabs in this. Heat Wave is primary stab, of course, when we go for Terra Fire. And overall, it's just a really good special tank, even without the bulk. Up next, we have Gholdengo with the Metal Coat here. Clutch had mentioned this was actually designed so that when you go for Terra Steel, you could actually end up taking a Rage Fist pretty well and end up revenging, even at 100 base power. You'll be able to revenge kill that. He did also mention this can live hits from potential like Chompy Q, at least as a spread move, of course, which is valuable as well. And we have Make It Rain and Shadow Ball as primary stabs. Plot Gholdengo is great, especially in tandem with Rage Powder AMOONGUSS, which will be valuable. As a lot of Pokemon that might be going for fire attacks that are not Heat Wave, such as Bitterblade Cerulege, for example, we could potentially use Rage Powder on AMOONGUSS and then go for Plot or just attack with Gholdengo, and we're pretty set there. We have Protect, obviously, as our final move. This is especially valuable if we do burn Terra Steel, so then we don't need to risk Fake Outs or really just any other bad turns. Final mon of the team we have is GALLADE with the Focus Sash. We have Wide Guard, Trick Room, Sacred Sword, and Psycho Cut. Sacred Sword is great for Dondozo as well as Psycho Cut if it's some sort of Terra, like Terra Flying, for example, which I've seen here and there, so it's not too out there. But overall, they're just great stab options on GALLADE, and they hit extremely hard with the Sharpness ability. Trick Room is great to potentially give this team a Trick Room out. It's valuable for mons like Azu and Garganacl, though again, it's not necessarily too reliant because both mons will still function pretty well outside of it. Wide Guard is finally up here, mostly just for spread attacks from stuff like Heat Waves or Expanding Force from Armorers, or even just other stuff like Rock Slide and Earthquake, which you'll see a lot in the format. With that said though, that's going to be the team. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the battles. Peace out, guys.
Hey guys, it's Liv here. In today's video,
we're going to be doing a team built around Garganacl. For whatever reason, this was like the mon I was by far the most wrong about in my initial pre-tiering video. So hopefully you guys enjoy seeing me really relish in the fact that I'm finally using this mon. But if you do, leave a like and subscribe and let me know what you want to see next. This one, of course, was built by Clutch. I mentioned that in the builder probably, but still wanted to mention here. So the opponent's team consists of Talonflame, Skeletor's, Gholdengo, Annihilape, Houndstone, and Tyranitar. So very dark weak team actually. HYDREIGON should be great here. Barring Tera Fairy Skeletors, they don't really have a great way around it. I guess actually that's not entirely true. Annihilape should be pretty decent around it too. In terms of my other lead partner though, I feel like GALLADE's also pretty good here actually. I can realistically make GALLADE work against practically every mon here. I want to say practically every mon. But realistically, I'm probably going to use this as an offensive lead here. I'm going to bring Gholdengo in the back, and I think I'm going to bring the salty Garganacl here as mon number 4. So good luck or fun to my opponent, and yeah, let's see where this team takes us. I'm pretty confident that realistically I could have made any of the 6 here work, if I'm going to be honest. Their team is actually just very weak to mine on matchup in like every way, shape, and form. They don't really have a great AZU switch in, for example. They don't really have great switch-ins to Gholdengo, albeit they have good offensive counterplay, just not good switch-ins. Like literally every mon on this team actually has a good matchup here, I would argue. Even AMOONGUSS, and I'm not really huge on AMOONGUSS. I think it's kind of whatever in this format. But regardless though, what we're going to opt to do here, I think I'm definitely going to go for Tera Fire, because I ultimately do need to make sure this is not a dark type still. It's the offensive typing that I want this for. But we're going to go for Dark Pulse here. And I'm going to proceed to go for, Trick Room here. Actually, no, I'm not going to go for Trick Room here. On this particular lead, actually, I could say it. I'm going to go for Psycho Cut on the Skeletors. If they go for any sort of Tailwind here, that's fine. I ultimately need Skeletors gone before I go for Trick Room, and I'm not too scared of their Tailwind anyway. It doesn't really affect me that much because Garganacl ultimately can just do a lot of damage against their whole team, whether Tailwind is up or not. And I don't really need the Tera either. We're Tera Grass in this set, by the way. There's a lot of Tera types that you can use if you're looking to use Garganacl, though, for yourself, such as Ghost, Grass. Obviously, there's also Fighting. Well, Fighting's kind of lower in comparison. Really, Grass and Ghost are the best, too. But this team happens to be Grass. But yeah, so we're going to go for Dark Pulse and Skeletors, though. This should more than take it out. It doesn't actually take it out, but Psycho Cut will definitely finish the job. Beautiful. Okay. So now that this mon is gone, I can definitely afford to get up a Trick Room depending on what they go into, though I might also just have to sack GALLADE, which I'm fine with doing that as well. GALLADE's not a super important piece. They're going to go into Annihilape here, actually. Annihilape coming in is fine. They're probably going to be either A, Tera Fire, or B, they're going to be like a Tera Ghost set, or maybe they'll just be Final Gambit. For what it's worth, this is a Tailwind team. I wouldn't be too surprised, especially if they do just bring Houndstone in the back and try and sweep me that way. That could also be pretty efficient for them. We'll go for the Draco Meteor here regardless on Annihilape, and I'm going to go for a Psycho Cut. The tandem of these should take out Annihilape, assuming it doesn't, of course, target GALLADE. But even still, I'm not too worried about the mon overall. I should be able to get a good dent in it with this Draco here, and neither of these mons can OHKO me. It's really only, well, specifically, they can't OHKO HYDREIGON. Yeah, this Air/Talonflame does nothing. Even if I had Brave Bird, it wouldn't really affect me. They're actually going to go for Rock Slide here. Now, Rock Slide could have been terrifying. I don't think it would have OHKO'd necessarily, unless this was like banded. But this definitely leads me to believe this is a Scarf Annihilape. I can't imagine they would have clicked Rock Slide otherwise. So we're going to see Draco go off here. That's fine. We're going to go into Gholdengo here, actually. And I'm going to swap, not Gholdengo, Garganacl. And I'm going to swap HYDREIGON into Gholdengo. The logic here being is that I want to make sure to get rid of HYDREIGON as quickly as possible and drop the stat boost. And I think they'll probably just do the same repetition of plays. I think it works out well for them. I'll go for the Salt Cure on Talonflame meanwhile, because I don't really need to click anything else. In all honesty, it's just about getting damage in that slot. They're actually going to switch out Talonflame anyway. They're going to go into their own Gholdengo, which this works out even better for me, actually. I can make sure that they're now taking a significant amount of damage, and I could probably actually swap Garganacl back into HYDREIGON next turn, because all I need to do is just keep wearing down Gholdengo, and that should work out great for me. We also have our own Gholdengo, though, which, again, works out amazing against their team. It's a pretty overall just threatening mon here, so I'll definitely take that. If they click Mega Rain, so be it. My Gholdengo should obviously sponge that. I guess the question is, do I value getting off damage more on Annihilape with Garganacl, which I can definitely manage to do. They're clearly scarfed, I mean, I guess the risk there would be taking, yeah, I don't really want to take Salt, I don't really want to take Mega Rain. So what I'm going to proceed to do, I'm going to click Protect this turn. Actually, how many turns of Tailwind do they have left? I'm pretty sure they have one. It's one turn. Yep, one turn of Tailwind. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go for Protect here. And I'm going to swap back into HYDREIGON here. If they go for Rock Slide again, I'm fine with this. I think ultimately they actually switch out Annihilate this turn. And they're going to go back into Talonflame. But I don't really want to attack into that slot either, because I don't want Gholdengo to take the... I don't want it to take the Shadow Ball if it predicts me and goes for Shadow Ball. I think they're clicking Make It Rain though. They're going to go for Rock Slide here. It's fine. Again, I don't mind HYDREIGON taking this hit. But obviously, you know, I'll benefit a lot next turn. As we can see, this does no damage. They're going to go for Shadow Ball into the Gholdengo. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm really glad I made this play then. Because ultimately, this will benefit me a lot more in the long term. They're going to go for the... Well, they're obviously going to take the Salt Cure damage here. This is fine. I'm going to click Make It Rain plus Snarl, I think is my best play. Yeah, Make It Rain plus Snarl should do some good damage. Or I could go for... Actually, I'm going to go for Heat Wave. I'm going to go for Heat Wave. No reason to click Snarl, in my opinion, just considering the fact that Heat Wave will hit everything better. Also, realistically, the only mon... So I guess... No, Snarl would have probably been better here. But I guess in the off chance that this Annihilate ends up going for like a Terra and resist Make It Rain, I would rather click the Heat Wave. They're going to go for Terra on Gholdengo here, actually. It's Terra Water. Okay. So, this combination of plays will lift both my mons, but honestly, I'm not too concerned with it. They would basically have to click Protect here and be fine. And even still, they'll die to Salt Cure next turn regardless. HYDREIGON will still die, right, because this is Scarf Annihilate. I forgot about that. Still not a huge deal. It's locked into Rock Slide, which I'm okay with that. They didn't bring the Sand Core, which is good. I can start clearing off stuff from my notes. I don't know why I still have half of these things. Their Gholdengo won the Speed tie, which is... no, right, because we're really bulky Gholdengo. I forgot about that. Okay. Forgot about that. We're really bulky Gholdengo on this team. We're modest. Okay, well, Gholdengo's going to lose a lot of HP at this point. And truthfully, what I could actually probably end up doing is I could just click Recover here. So I'm more than okay with this. We know they're Life Orb, but that's fine. They might KO with Make It Rain. They might. I basically need to recover here, though. So assuming that I take this hit, I win the game. Because they would... The only way they have a chance at winning is if they switch out Annihilate here. But I just need to live the Make It Rain, which is single target, to be fair. Okay, yeah, they just KO. A little unfortunate. I kind of wish I brought Azu, actually. I think Azu over Gholdengo would have been a lot smarter. I think as well, it would have been smart to... specifically as a player, I should have remembered that my Gholdengo was always going to underpace theirs. Because it's just meant to be a lot bulkier of a Gholdengo, since I can, in general, take a lot of... It's meant for when I Terra to take hits like Rage Fist from Annihilate and revenge it. So, I again, mentioned that in my builder, but just in general, should have been more cautious of that. Regardless, though, let's get into game number 2. Okay, so for game number 2, we're taking on Annihilate, Crocodile, Gardevoir, Moongus, Kilowattrel, and Ceruledge. Okay. So looking at this matchup, I think this is definitely a Terra Garganacl game. If not Terra Garganacl, then I think there's also a lot of merit to potentially trying to sweep with Azu. I could maybe Terra Amoonguss, but truthfully, I feel like Amoonguss isn't bad here. I don't know if I want to burn the Terra on it, but it would have a lot of merit for stuff like Ceruledge as well as for stuff like Annihilate. So I might actually Terra Amoonguss. I think Amoonguss is definitely a good lead here, though. I could actually get a really free Trick Room comp off in this matchup, in my opinion. So what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to lead it with Amoonguss Gallade. I'm going to bring Garganacl here, and I'm going to actually bench HYDREIGON Gholdengo, as weird as this sounds. I think HYDREIGON actually just has an outright not good matchup here. The one exception this is really good for is for Ceruledge, but I also have that good of a matchup with Azu versus Ceruledge, so I'm not too concerned with this. Meanwhile, Gholdengo's just really 5th mon here. It's just 5th mon here. That's really all it is. But I don't think either are unusable. I think truthfully I could have just as easily gone like HYDREIGON plus like Azu or Amoonguss lead, and then go for Gholdengo in the back, and then probably Garganacl or maybe Azu if I brought Amoonguss. I think I could have also gone either Azu Garganacl or Amoonguss Azu. Either one would have worked. But I don't know. I just feel like this was my safer route, truthfully. I think the Trick Room does a lot against their team, and I think they're going to lead off with specifically Crook plus Kilowattrel. They could also lead off with Guard plus Kilowattrel. I think both are fine. They're going to lead off with Ceruledge Kilowattrel. This also works. This is definitely turned into a situation, though, where I'm going to want to go for Rage Powder and Terra Amoonguss. Which I'm still fine with this, actually. It's not a big concern. All this does is it just means that later on I'm not going to be able to Terra Garganacl if they brought Amoonguss. But I'm willing to take that chance because I think that defensively speaking, I'm still fine here. So we're going to go for Rage Powder and Tower Water. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for the Trick Room. I think Kilowattrel will probably go for Discharge or Tailwind. I'm fine with either way, though. I know we'll take more by going for Terra Water here from the Discharge, but this is specifically for the Ceruledge, actually, that I'm clicking this. Because Ceruledge will be the mon that's going for the single target attack. It's going to be a lot more offensively based, and I think that will do the good chunk of damage, and that probably could have just OHKO'd me. Flat out. I don't think Kilowattrel will, though, even in tandem. And at worst, I lose AMOONGUSS to the combination of the two, but I'm okay with that. I just need Ceruledge specifically to be redirected. They're actually going to go for Air Slash here, which works out great. They're going to go for Bitter Blade. Yep, okay. So this was like the best case scenario. This means I now have AMOONGUSS back for later on, and I can go for Spore on Ceruledge, which will be great. Actually, yeah, I'll go for Spore on Ceruledge, because this is a good priority option for them. And I can go for Psycho Cut into Kilowattrel, which will be valuable. So I'm definitely going to make that work. So we're going to go for the Spore here, and I'm going to go for Psycho Cut. I think ultimately this will be for the best. They're probably going to switch out Kilowattrel anyway. If they go into Crook, I'm not too concerned. I'm going to guess, though, that if they're switching out from Kilowattrel, they're probably going to go into Gardevoir. Because I feel like Gardevoir could be a nice potential anti-trick room for them. It's bulky enough to take it from Gallade. I don't really damage that slot either way, though, with either of my stabs. But Psycho Cut at least is valuable. They're actually going to stay in. This is fine as well. What I'll probably end up doing next turn is I'm probably going to just go for... What do I want to do? I feel like I could just Spore in a Kilowattrel spot. And I feel like that's pretty decent. Yep, Focus Sash, okay, that's fine. What I think I'll actually probably do is I'm gonna go for, I feel like I want to go for Clear Smog there. They're gonna go for Discharge here, that's fine. They're damaging no one Ceruledge with this, so I'm pretty okay with this. And AMOONGUSS getting cleared just means I can go into Garganacl and I can go for the Salt Cure into the Ceruledge slot. Meanwhile, I can just go for, well, actually, I could probably just go for Iron Defense and then Psycho Cut, and that also works. I could also go into Azu, but I think ultimately I'd rather get set up with Garganacl. I think it'll be a lot more valuable for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the KO on Kilowattrel just because it's doing the more offensively potent option here. And we're gonna go for Sacred Sword. Because Sacred Sword now hits everything besides Annihilate that's switching better. But I've already clicked Psycho Cut, so I don't think that Annihilate is a switch in. I think truthfully it's Crook or Gardevoir. Nothing else really makes sense there. So Ceruledge should be still actually Ceruledge may wake up, but that's fine. We're Sash Gallade, so that's also not really a huge concern. Unless this is like an adamant or like a bulky Ceruledge in some way, or at least some form of Ceruledge that would be slower than base 80 for mons like Gallade, we should always go before it anyway. So we wouldn't even need to risk like a speed tie there. They could click Sneak, but that's not a huge concern if they break my Sash. Because truthfully, they would break their Sash. They would always be able to break my Sash anyway with any move they click this turn. So whether it's Sneak, Bitter Blade, otherwise, I'm not concerned here. And Ceruledge, okay, so Ceruledge is slower than Gallade, it's good to note. Or at worst, it's a speed tie. Again, good to note. I'm going to probably go for Salt Cure into that slot on the next turn. And then attack the slot replacing Kilowattrel with whatever hit from Gallade I want. But we know this has Bitter Blade at least. We know it's not Life Orb as well, but that's kind of obvious. It's probably Clear Amulet. They're typically Clear Amulet. It could have been Sash, but when a Kilowattrel was Sash, it's definitely not Sash. Okay, so Gardevoir came in here. Gardevoir is like the one mon actually that I do need to kind of just dual target. So we're gonna go for Salt Cure here, and I'm gonna go for Wide Guard actually. I think it's gonna Gleam. Do I really want a Wide Guard? Yeah, I think I want a Wide Guard actually. Wide Guard should be fine. Because I think it's either gonna go for Gleam or Trick Room, and I'm fine with either route. It could go for Imprison as well, but again, I'm not too concerned with this. So we'll get the Wide Guard off. Is this gonna go for Gleam? I feel like Gleam is pretty obvious. We'll Salt Cure either way. And Salt Cure is definitely my best play here regardless. It's a good consistent chip on Gardevoir here. They're gonna go for Gleam. Perfect. Okay. So we've now essentially put the Gardevoir in a perfect lock. This might be Scarf Gardevoir actually. Assuming that's like a bulk up Annihilate, Scarf Gardevoir actually would be really good in this comp, and I think it would be a really strong option for, I don't know, just a good spread option. It's a good dozer killer too. I think ultimately they're probably the Imprison set though, if I had to guess. Not really a huge concern either way. Construct, we got the max sleep turns, but truthfully, I don't mind if I don't mind either way. We'll go for Salt Cure and the Ceruledge, and I'm gonna go for another Wide Guard here, just in the off chance that my opponent, well, I guess so just in the off chance that Garganacl either gets attacked by Ceruledge, or B, that for some reason Wide Guard still activates even after I'm KO'd. Oh, actually, we just take this out anyway. I didn't think we'd KO Ceruledge. I thought, truthfully, I'd need to wait until the end of the turn to KO it. But I'm fine with this. They'll go for Psychic on Garganacl. Not a huge concern. This does Jack. And they're Life Orb on Gardevoir. Okay. Life Orb Gardevoir is still actually fine for us. They're down to their last 2, though. I don't think they have AMOONGUSS, because I think if they had AMOONGUSS, they would have went into it and spored Garganacl here. So I do believe their last mon is Croak or Annihilate. I feel pretty confident in that call. It's probably going to be Annihilate. I feel like Annihilate was really good against my team. They have 2 of AMOONGUSS. Okay, well, then I have a pretty easy turn right here. I go for Salt Cure. Actually, no, I go for Recover all the time. They'll probably go for Clear Smog. I'm fine with that, though. And I go for Psycho Cut. I always go for Psycho Cut into that AMOONGUSS slot because I just need to try and take it out. Nearly KO'd. I'm fine with this. They'll go for Gleam on guard. So be it. I don't mind losing GALLADE here, actually, because at this point, AZUMARILL should be able to just win. And I'm going to go for Recover solely for the fact that I want to make sure I'm as healthy as possible. They're going to actually outpace me. What? They outpace me? Really? They actually... What the fuck? This is like a speedy AZUMARILL. Not AZUMARILL, AMOONGUSS. Like, this definitively does have speed investment. There's no if and or buts about it. They have speed investment. Which is kind of fucking insane to think about. I'm curious how fast. Like, genuinely speaking, I'm curious how fast. So, God of War is on its last turn. Actually, no, it has 2 more turns. Okay, well. Either way, what I think I'm going to do here, I'm going to go for Jet and Azu and Recover on the Garganacl here. Actually, no. Do I really want to do that? Yeah, I am actually going to do that. That should be pretty good. I'm going to go for Jet and Azu. Taking out God of War should be pretty valuable for me, in my opinion. If they go for Protect, so be it. They would need to go for Protect and either Spore. Probably Spore would be their best play here. But otherwise, yeah, okay, so they didn't click Protect. So Guard is gone. It's just AMOONGUSS left. And AMOONGUS's best play, again, would be going for Spore. But even going for Spore at this point wouldn't be a huge concern. Yeah, they're going to go for Giga Drain. Okay. So this doesn't really bother me. What I'll probably end up doing is I'm just going to go for Knockoff in this slot. Knockoff plus Salt Cure should be fine. I'm SITRUS, so I'm guaranteed 3 KO by this, which is very fucking amazing. I know in my builder, I probably mentioned how Clutch didn't remember what its bulk was for. This was not one of the things it was for. It was not. This was just coincidental. Clutch specifically put the EVs in the FizzDev side anyway, so it just more such a stat. We're gonna go for Salt Cure here though, and I'm gonna go for Player Off, I think. Player Off should do more damage. I know we can miss, but it's gonna do more damage anyway. Yeah, that's something at least. They'll probably Giga Drain like all of that back. Their Rocky Helmet, so be it. We'll go for the Salt Cure here with Garganacl, and this should be some nice consistent damage here. What I'll probably end up doing is I'm probably just gonna go for the Protect here. Actually, no, I'm just gonna Play Off. They're most likely gonna Giga Drain with Garganacl anyway here, which I'm okay with that. What I can just do is I can go for another. I think I'm gonna go for another Salt Cure. No, it doesn't matter. Salt Cure won't matter. I'm gonna go for Iron Defense, and I'm gonna go for Play Off. Because ultimately, I want to just get off as much damage as I can on AMOONGUSS this turn. Their best play... Oh, they just died anyway. Okay, I was going to say, because their best play would be to specifically target into the Garganacl spot, which I guess wouldn't have mattered either way. We were pretty much dead. Yeah, we ended up dying there. Okay, so I was going to say, because they could target into the Garganacl with Giga Drain, of course, and just keep trying to get health back as much as possible, but ultimately it didn't matter, because they just died. With that said, though, we're 1-1 for the day. Let's try and get a win in our final game. We'll see you guys then. Okay, and getting to our final game, we have Tatsugiri. We have Dondozo, because of course we play Dozo. Meowscarada, Volcarona, Goldango, and Baxcalibur. Okay, so looking at this comp, this should definitely be... I feel like this is a pretty decent lead. What do I want to go about here? So, this is definitely... No, this could be a Garganacl game, actually. Terra Garganacl would be the only way I justify it, but it could be. We'll bring HYDREIGON for sure. HYDREIGON Azu, actually, I think should be a pretty good offensive lead here. We'll bring Garganacl and AMOONGUSS in the back. I don't really like Goldango's matchup. Goldango has a lot of issues here with majority of their comp, actually. Really, the only thing I could think of justifying it would be Baxcalibur if they don't Terra it. Gallade also has some merit. Actually, I'm going to bring Gallade over AMOONGUSS. Specifically being, I don't want to risk Terra Steel sets. And if I played a Terra... Well, no, because Garganacl would be Terra Steel. I still like Gallade a bit more. Yeah, I like Gallade a bit more. Final answer. We'll go with this. But yeah, good luck and fun. But, let's see. So, looking at this matchup, my guess is they're going to lead off with probably Meowscarada plus something else. I feel like this is a Trick Room Dozo team. I feel like it's Trick Room Dozo. They're going to lead off with Baxcalibur Goldango. Okay, that's like the last lead I thought here. But this is still fine, actually. This is still genuinely fine. What I could actually do, I'm going to go for the Terra Fire, and I'm going to go for Heat Wave. No, because I need to save Terra. I need to nope. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna go for play off here into this. No, I'm gonna go for protect. Because I don't know what Terra type that is, and that's gonna be my issue, is what Terra type is the Baxcalibur. The Heat Wave should be good either way though, objectively speaking. I just want to make sure that there's not gonna be an issue with this lead. It's not like they have wide guard or anything. Worst case scenario, they go for protect, I guess. I know we'll be boosting Baxcalibur Thermal Exchange with this play, but I'm fine with it. Really, it's just a really strong spread move here, and barring Terravire Bax, I'm pretty okay with this play in every scenario. They're actually going to Terra Goldango here. They're going to go for Terra Steel. Okay, so this is their Goldango is dead. Their Goldango is fucking dead. They would basically need to click Protect this turn, which I'm fine with that. They did not click Protect this turn. I'm even more fine with that. I'm curious if Baxcalibur went for... They're going to go for Ice Shard, actually. Okay. So they probably just assumed that Hydreigon would have been taken out, which even with Ice Shard would not have been the case. We're going to massacre the Goldango, though. We did not actually massacre the Goldango. Kind of shocked here, I can't lie. Cannot lie. I'm very shocked, actually, by that. Well, at the very least, Hydreigon will sponge this hit very easily. What I'll probably end up doing is, because of the fact they have now burned Terrastal, and we know for a fact, well, we should guarantee outpace. We're pretty fast, Hydreigon? Yeah, we're timid Hydreigon. We guarantee outpace. Okay, yeah. So here's a new plan. We're going for Draco into the spot. Even with the attack boost, it should not matter. And I'm going for Aqua Jet and killing the Goldango. Goldango should get completely screwed over by this hit. Baxcalibur will just die as well to the Draco. So we should claim the lead here at this point, which is great. Even with the fact that they'll have Dondozo in the back with Tatsugiri most likely, I'm still okay with this. They're actually going to withdraw. And what are they bringing out? They're going to bring out... They're going to bring out Dondozo. Okay. Dondozo coming out is fine. I don't really mind Dondozo coming out truthfully, because all this means is that I now have, let's see, so, I mean, obviously, Baxcalibur is still gonna be healthy, that's perfectly okay. We'll have a fairly healthy Hydreigon though, which will be valuable. What I'm gonna end up doing, I'm gonna Draco into Dozo. I think I have to Draco into Dozo, and I need to player off the backs. Because, well, I'm gonna go for Belly Drum, actually. Because they burned Terra. They burned Terra. Yeah, what the heck? We sponge both hits. We sponge both for sure. Whether they stay in or not, I'm fine. They're withdrawing anyway. Makes a lot of sense. So now we have a Belly Drum Dazu. Worst case scenario, they clicked Earthquake this turn. They're probably not clicking Earthquake though, because Hydreigon is a huge threat to this mon. They're probably clicking Wave Crash. Wave Crash or Order up here. Either one I'm fine with though, because it means that Azu is healthy, because they targeted Hydreigon. Realistically as well, with the back mons, I'm pretty fine, because ultimately my team should just beat theirs. They're going to go for Protect here, so be it. I'm not too concerned with this. So we're just going to go for the Draco on the next turn then. Draco on the next turn should still be fine. They've let me get up a free Belly Drum as well, which is fucking great. And they need to pick their threat. Oh, you know what? Shit. They're unaware. They're probably unaware. I don't know why I clicked this so confidently. I don't know why I clicked this so confidently. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay. Still not too bad. Still not too bad. It's a lot worse, but I can still win this. Because realistically, Hydreigon does too much damage to Draco. So we're just going to go for Draco. And I'm going to go for Player Off anyway. Not because I don't think this is unaware, but because of the fact that why did they order up into this slot? They probably thought that I was going to switch. That's truthfully what it was. They're speed Tatsu anyway, which is fine for me. I don't mind this. And if they are unaware, then that's okay too. So they are unaware. Because this means that I just keep clicking Draco. And they never really get a lot back from that. Plus, the combination of these two does too much damage to their team. So I'm okay with this. Even if they attack they're not going to attack. Okay. This is fine. Even if they do decide to attack Hydreigon though, I'm okay with this. Because they're not offensive boosting. And I should still have Gallade in the back, which Gallade should be able to get around this mod pretty easily. So I'm okay with this. Realistically, on the following turn, what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to click the Draco again, and I'm going to click Player Off. Because all I need to do is keep getting damage, and I don't think they'll attack Azu here. Also, realistically, Gallade will come in with the full Focus Sash, so I'm also okay with this. But we're going to do too much damage to this mon to where it should actually get beaten by this comp anyway if they don't actually attack Hydreigon. They're going to. That's fine. Okay. So we're down 3-4. It's still not a huge deal. So I'm not too concerned. Yeah, we'll just bring in Gallade. Gallade should be okay here. Gallade just needs to click Sacred Sword. Yeah, Gallade just need to click Sacred Sword, and Sacred Sword should be able to massacre this mon. Just in case they don't target Gallade though, I'm just gonna click Protect on Azu, solely just to keep it as healthy as possible. Knowing their team comp as well, they're gonna probably have to bring in Gholdengo next turn, if I had to guess. So we're fine there. We're fine there, actually. We're really fine there. We'll go for Sacred Sword, and I'm gonna go for Protect. This should be pretty good, and Azu should be set up to win after this. I know that obviously, yep, they're gonna click Protect again, that's fine. So they Protect order up, they're probably Wave Crash and Filler. They're probably not gonna click Wave Crash though, because it deals damage to them, it's gonna make them weaker. Okay. So I guess what do I want to do here? I think ultimately it's in my best interest to click Sacred Sword and Play Rough, just for as much damage as possible. I don't actually hold on. Before I do that, how much do we do versus Standard Dozo with Gallade? Let's see. So Gallade versus Dondozo. Let's see. So they're going to do. It should still be a 3 KO. So we'll take that. We'll take that. Psycho Kid, obviously, if it crits, it'll do more, but that's kind of the issue, is if it crits, it will do more. They're going to go for order up here. That's fine. I'm not too concerned with this. They're just boosting their speed at this point, which is all that matters. And we have a Focus Sash, so again, crit doesn't even matter at this point. But realistically, we just need to Sacred Sword here. It should do a good amount of damage. It KOs anyway, which is beautiful. And because of the fact that we outright KO'd, Tatsugiri will now still have to take the player off here. So we brought them down to 2 months, and I can just Aqua Jet the Gholdengo again next turn. And while Bax Caliber will be a bit annoying, it's no longer a +1 Bax Caliber, so I'm very okay with this. Meanwhile, at the same time, all they really can do is, I guess, just kill my Gallade, or they're going to have to take a hit from it. So we're going to Jet into Gholdengo, 100%. That's always my play, to Jet into Gholdengo. And we're going to Sacred Sword into Bax. Even if they can't KO my Azu with Bax, there's never a world they do that. The worst thing I could click here is Earthquake, and it's solely because of the fact that it dual targets. But I don't really care about clicking Wide Guard at this point, because my play should always be to damage Bax Caliber in case they Dragon Dance. Because once they start Dragon Dancing, that finally can actually do some damage. So we're going to take the Ice Shard on Gallade. That's not a huge concern. Makes a lot of sense to click that play, truthfully. And Azu's going to get the Aqua Jet off. So Gholdengo is also taken out. It's 1 versus 2 at this point. So I'm pretty okay with this because Bax cannot KO either of my mons, and Gholdengo is no longer here to Wide Guard. Not Wide Guard, to make it rain. So we're gonna click Body Press here. Body Press plus Body Press plus Jet. We're +6 Jet, so I can't imagine that we won't just do half to this mon. Despite the resist, I feel like we'll still do at least half. So I'm pretty comfortable at this point. They might Protect if they have it, just to say they did. But like, what do they gain from that? What do they actually gain from that? No, they didn't click Protect. Alright, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we do about half. That makes a lot of sense here, truthfully. They're gonna go for Crash, so be it. This specifically is why I didn't click Crash. Why I didn't click Player off here, though. Just in case they tried to flinch me down, it just wastes an extra turn, so why bother? But we ended up winning the day, so I'll take that. Garganacl team proved to be pretty terrifying, I can't lie. Despite the fact that we didn't necessarily need Garganacl for a lot in this particular match, it still did pose a lot of a threat to their team. We could have potentially used it for Terra Grass and Dondozo, for example. We obviously did have it as a really good backs check here, so even just having that in the back was a nice safety net if Azu did end up getting killed last turn. So I'll take it. If you guys enjoyed this, of course, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Shout out to channel members, of course, being Josh K Ultra Player, Mia, Zeke0, Nox Nocturnal, Koemi, and Matt O'Shea. Your guys' support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to see some extra content every Wednesday, make sure to click the members link down below to where you can get some extra bonus videos once a week. And with that said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, peace out, guys.